morning, I-24 News Morning Edition on this Thursday, October 29th, 2015, and I am still Yael Levi, last I checked. It's good that you stayed with us because our next story is a unique one. Our next guest, Ahmed, or Dارفور, that's how many people call you, right? Dárfur, as some friends call him. He was born in the village of Diesseh, 170 kilometers from the capital of North Darfur, and like many Darfuris, he does not know exactly when he was born. He, like many of his countrymen, also was forced to leave his home in 2004, when Janjaweed militiamen killed more than 500,000 people and forced more than 2.5 million into refugee camps or to flee the country. After a very, very long journey, and that is to say the least, he arrived in Israel, settled into a life as an asylum seeker in Tel Aviv. That's also quite a journey. 7 years later, he published a book, The Nightmare of the Exile, becoming the first refugee in Israel to become an author. And I'm very, very happy to have I'm going to call you Dárfur, as all your friends call you. And I'm going to, the hand as well, and the book. I want to show everybody the book.
Sure.
This is your book, okay? Which I think, I mean, a lot of people that have not gone through what you went through, have a very hard time actually sitting down and writing. And the fact that you managed to bring out a book to tell the story, The Nightmare of the Exile, I think to begin with is amazing. Tell me how this came about. How did you say one day, with all the things that are happening, you're leaving your country, you managed to get into Israel. When did the idea of writing a book come into your mind?
I actually just write notes from my daily life,
right.
And then finally I just I said it's okay, a good idea to publish to the people my notes, and then to share my story at least, so and tell my experience
as a refugee,
as a refugees from from as a childhood in Darfur,
What was your life in Darfur? What was your life like in Darfur?
When I was young, I grew up there as any child. It was a very nice life I spent over there, but unfortunately, since 2003, which is a conflict of Darfur, right, started, then everything dramatically changed, and then forced me to leave my country and to live in exile, also other Darfuris who still living.
Did your family survive? Anybody from your family? I mean, where's your family from Darfur?
My family, I grew up in Diesseh, and then my family right now also in Darfur, yeah, in the city. They're not living in refugee camp, in Al-Fashir. So.
Are you in touch with them? Are you in contact with them?
Yeah, contact, I call them regularly, but it's not easy sometimes, the connection from here to call. So yes, at least I meet them.
What do you think people, and I would say especially people around the world right now, need to know about refugees? What do you want people to know about refugees?
Refugees is just first, I was in Egypt, and I saw I was in a place called Mustapha Mahmoud Square, which
in
is
Egypt.
In Egypt.
Yeah. When on your way into Israel.
Yeah, yeah. And then 27 people killed over there because just a kind of protest in front of UNHCR office. And then since then I saw the word refugees is not, I think it's not word survive, is still people, then I moved it and I came to Israel here. Also I saw how the hard life and how
do you feel about how Israelis treat refugees, the issue of refugees and asylum seekers in Israel?
It's very bad. Since I came here, creating laws, law after law, Khidera, I don't know, to be in prison for 3 years, then Kholod 1 or 2.
Right.
So,
you came here, and how many years were you in the prisons?
Yeah, I was in prison because for
being an asylum seeker.
Because asylum seeker, they arrested me beginning of this year of the issue of I hadn't I supposed to go to the interview and I didn't go there. Then just they arrest me and they put me 16 days in prison, right, with no reason. So I was there. I'm asking myself what's wrong. I didn't do anything wrong, and then I saw myself inside the prison. So right, this is make me to see how when you say refugee, yeah, because of this word. So I just, I put in prison. So this is became like,
Just
you know, like
because
refugees.
you're a refugee.
Yeah, because the refugees became today's like you know, like criminals. So I just shaped it even in my book when I wrote. You know, like I mentioned that, you know, like to be refugee and then to be in prison, or to put in like detention center like Holot. Also, it looks like prison the same.
Holot in many ways
so,
is a prison as well.
Yeah, so
and that's the facility that that a lot of asylum seekers in Israel end up in. And when you say the nightmare of the exile, who do you, I mean, you hope that people will read this book and find the story. What is your situation now in Israel?
It's still just surviving every day. Also, when I get up, I just get up with a nightmare. It's the same. Like I'm thinking just what will be tomorrow. Now I have just like I get, you know, like a visa for 1 month, and again I go there to renew it. I have a lawyer like help me, you know, like to do the process, but still I don't know what will happen tomorrow. So the case maybe also will not finish soon, because like something became regular, you know, like today and tomorrow after tomorrow. But
it's not having a basis, not knowing what, you know, where you're going to end up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Would you like to stay here?
Yeah, for me, like, because even when I wrote the book, I wrote in the back of the book that the donation of the book will, I will donate for, you know, like for Darfur refugees who living in camp. Like it's
camps.
not here, but in camp over there. Yeah, so what I'm just planning for, like, I want to see how to sit one place to help them at least, because like to stay inside the camp today is like it's hard for me, and you know, like Janjaweed over there, Sudanese security, and it's struggling. But if I find like I'm looking for a place that at least to be like stable to just help them, even to send them, like I'm away, but at least, you know, like to help the children to go to school. We have many women, you know, like raped and then, you know, like affected, you know, like by the, you know, like way of what happened for them, you know, like. So hopefully, you know, like to get some donation from the book and then to send for them, you know, like to
try and help the people there. Well, first of all, Adam, I think that it's a remarkable undertaking to actually manage to tell your story, put it on paper, not just the fact that it was published, but the fact that you had the time to do that, that you found the strength to do that, and that is to write The Nightmare of the Exile. That is the story of the refugee from Darfur, Adam Ahmed. I think this is the book. And it's, you know, it's amazing. I hope, and you can get it on Amazon, right?
Yeah, it's on Amazon, and also I wrote another book which is like a working title for it is called like Destiny. It's short stories of Darfur, and this is not like because it's one like biography about my personal life, but the second one, is I'm going to tell a world about you know, the life of Darfur, the culture, because the culture gap also one of the problems that today, like even in Israel here, they, you know, like if you go to South Tel Aviv, you see like people, they don't understand us, who we are, because there's a culture gap, you know, like they don't know what kind of food we eat, they don't know what the music we use every day, and you know, like, so the culture gap is
to bridge that culture, to bridge that gap.
So I'm just writing to the world to know who we are and how our life, because, you know, like our region is the, you know, like what is stable before, and we didn't like I mean, before 2003 we didn't get into conflict to understand what's the problem, and we don't know others' culture, but since
the conflict in Darfur began.
So just, you know, like people just, you know, like flee the country and they don't know even, you know, because first time for me, like, you know, like to see, you know, like how to stop and cross the road, you know, like with the light.
Those are the things that you needed to learn.
We take donkeys, we take camels, you know, like we don't have light over there, we don't have
big buses or high rises or not.
Maybe I saw a bus, and this time maybe when I was 14 or 15.
No, and I'm thinking of the remarkable, that moment when you have to flee a place that you come from, and then you enter this modern world and everybody tells you that they don't want you. That is essentially what's happening, right? For the people who flee Darfur.
Yeah, that's it.
No, and I think it's a book that everybody should read, and especially nowadays when there are so many refugees all around the world.
That's right.
And as you mentioned, coming from one culture to another and having to ask that culture, that new culture, to take care of you.
And also hopefully like world to understand, like even people, refugees are people, like, you know, like everyone, they have stories, they have their own lives, they have families, so people understand them as a human being.
Everybody can listen to refugees are people. That is something that everybody needs to remember. Adam, you're staying with us